Okay guys, a bit of a short video today because I'm really busy and I just wanted to crack on and not pump out a boring video of me welding and grinding again. That'll do. Okay, so I've still got to weld all this bit, so what I've been doing today is putting this bottom bit in. Been working on two key areas today. One is cutting really close. So I'd actually cut the piece larger than it needs to be and then grind it back very gently to make a really tight fit. And the second thing, I've been practicing for ages and ages on the actual welding. So what I've done is I've cut along here, inserted this bit and then done a butt weld, if you'd like. And I've welded and I've been trying for hours. So what I'm currently doing is 100% argon. I think when this, I've got 2 bottles of argon. I think next time when it finishes I'll get argon and CO2 mix, 75% argon, 25% CO2. Reason being is with 100% argon, what I'm finding is when you're welding, the weld penetrates really well, but it's building a weld more than argon and CO2 together. So I'm going to go back to using argon and CO2, but I've got a while yet, to be fair, because these bottles are quite big. Also, when I'm welding, I've got the wire speed at 4, and I've tried reducing my gas. I've tried 4, 6, 8, 10 litres per minute. People have told me different things. I've tried reducing it to 3.2 litres per minute. And what I'm doing is when I'm welding, I'm actually moving the welding. So I start a bit far away and I move it closer, and it seems to dissipate really nicely. Not 100% perfect. There's way better welders out there than myself, but that is way better than my previous work. So it's improving. The only slight issue I am having is I bought well, I was grinding with these discs. Now these are really aggressive, you've got to be very careful. However, one second. A colleague of mine has gave me these. Cheers Gav, awesome bits kit, really good. These go on the die grinder. A mate of mine, Phil, had recommended these as well. Now the only thing I found with these is I've tried using this to remove a spot weld. And my god, these are aggressive. It literally went straight to the car. So they're really good. What I found with these was they're quite hard to use in the sense of you're holding the grinder. So I've got them in the grinder, and as I'm trying to remove the weld, it's bouncing around quite a lot. And if you hit the car, it'll go straight through the car. These are really aggressive. Oh my god, they're good though. Because what I was trying to do was do my spot welds, then weld, and then take back the welds without hitting the car. Absolutely fantastic, honestly, well, really good. But they're really hard to use as well. They can cause a lot of damage, so you've got to be very careful. But I will be using these, and they're absolutely awesome grinding bits. Yes, I think that's it for this bit over here. It's going to need a minuscule bit of filler, but that's not a problem. I might have to cut this out and weld that, obviously, but I was leaving that till the end because I can't afford to keep making mistakes on the bodywork. This doesn't show, and that's going to be quite good actually. I'm actually very happy with that. If I can do that. guys, in this video I'm going to make an attempt to weld this in place, and I'm praying to God I get this correct. This is going to be probably one of the hardest bits to do, along with the arches. Okay, so what I've done is I've just welded this in. Still needs a bit of tidying on the little bit underneath. Solid, nice and clear. I'm happy with that weld actually. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this in place, which really fits perfectly like that. So I'll put this into place, and then I've roughly marked which, let's see if I can get the card, which part I'm going to cut out. Now normally you'd actually cut these together, so when you put them together they go flush. I'm just a bit worried I don't want to go too deep into the car, so I'm going to try and maybe clamp this in place. In fact, yes, I'm going to clamp this in place like that. Okay, I'm going to try and clamp this in place, put the headlight in, see how the headlight fits, and then whilst that's clamped in place I'm going to try and cut through both panels to then hopefully... Actually, that won't work, because if I cut through both panels I've got the blade thickness, so if I cut through these two there's a thickness of the blade on that side as well. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp this on. I'm going to put the light back in again. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this panel. I'm going to take this panel off, cut it across these axes. Then I'm going to put this on the bodywork, mark it up. But then when I cut it, I'm going to cut on the outside of the line, so I don't lose that thickness of the blade. I think that's the best way I'm going to do it, I think. Okay, let's try that. Let's see. Always put your grinder face down when you finish, because it can spin and smack in the face. Okay, so, God, thank God that came out straight. Let's have a look. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, actually no, I was going to say I'm going to hammer it upwards, but I'm not going to hammer it upwards because that bit's not going to be there in theory, so I've got to cut it out. So let's, I think if I cut this off, the curve isn't quite right. Can't get off now. Okay, so that wants to be there, doesn't it? Okay, so that's exactly on the line, but I'm going to mark it again. And just to make sure I don't cut the wrong lines up, because I've got lines underneath probably, I'll just do this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I don't want to cut on the line because I've got the thickness of the blade. So if I take this off, God, tight. I can take the light off now. So you get rid of the lights. Okay guys, my goal is to have this painted by the end of the year. Let's see how that pans out. Not looking too good at the moment. Okay, so I chop off underneath. This should then fit in there flush. I can just smooth that over. So I need my cutting. My cut has to be on this side of the line. In fact, I wouldn't say I made a mistake, but normally when you do things like woodworking, you'd mark that as your waist, so you'd cut on that side. So really I should have put these on this side, but never mind. As long as we know what we're cutting. So I'm going to cut around there. What about this? I think I'm just going to cut, oh damn, this is in the way. I'm going to cut inside there. And then I'm going to cut, oh man, this is in the way now. I've just welded the fucking thing on. God damn it. No. Well, that wasn't very clever, was it? Okay, so I need to get this on. And I need to cut inside there, which I can... Damn it. Okay, I can manage that. But then cutting this... I've got to cut around here, which I can manage, but I'm going to cut in here. So I'm going to have to cut in this piece here somehow, which would be very easy half an hour ago. Well, if I welded this. Actually, it doesn't matter because I think... Okay, it doesn't matter because this actually only goes till here. So there's nothing actually... it doesn't matter actually. Whew. Okay, so that's that. So now we need to make another cut. And learning from experience, I've got to take this paint off before I start welding. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure I mentioned this before, but I've basically taken a template from the other side to make sure that when I do them, I get them spot on. So I'll do this, check it, and then I'll reset it again. I've got more of these when I come to the arches as well. I've never seen that before. The paint was flaking off. It was like peeling off. There you go. Must be really crap paint that was on there. Okay, so if you noticed, I was touching it every time to make sure I don't warp it, just checking for heat. Feels nice and good, nice and I can't feel any dimples or anything. Maybe a teeny one there, but it's okay. It's okay. Through a spot there. Oh, so close. Okay. Oh yes. I was going to go further in, but in fact, why isn't that going further in? Okay. Okay, so that's lined up really nice. I'm amazed at that. That's lined up really nicely. I've just got a slight gap here because the light's not quite going in as far. And I think, not really sure, but that might need hammering in a tiny bit. It's getting stuck on something here, but that's not a problem. I'm well happy with that. Okay, so what I've done is, I've done some welds, I've ground them back a bit, but I've stopped because I don't want to go flush because I've got to weld over them again. Also, there's loads there. I'm just taking really steady so we don't get any warpage in the panel. I can feel a tiny indentation there, but that's from that panel that wasn't quite lined up. My God, if I can keep on welding this without blowing holes through, I'm really happy. I think now it should blow. I shouldn't blow holes through because there's quite a bit of weld on already, so I'm going to be touching those welds. Oh, sweet. Right, that's it for today. I'm going to go home, get something to eat, and I'm going to carry on later on. Beautiful. That's. Not sure you can see that. Look at that. Perfect. Holy moly.